And welcome to episode 569 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
You know what I mean? And this is the only podcast that says.
May the force be with you.
Oh,
Always.
nice.
It's May the 4th. We're recording on May the 4th, so I figure might as well.
Get it out
Get it out there. So how are you, sir?
there. I'm good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Been watching some stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I got further into
Fallout.
yeah. Couldn't do it.
I finished that.
Did it end well?
Yeah, I like the way it ended.
Okay, good.
I got concerned because it was like, man, there's a lot of plot threads here that don't quite add up.
Yeah.
And when you got to the end, I'm like, oh, they tied that together nicely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing throughout the.
Yeah.
So so I'm still watching that. I watched that Zack Snyder Part 2.
Oh, Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna make another one.
I think they are.
Yeah, they should. I mean, there's definitely.
I think I honestly feel like Netflix is invested in Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
And I feel confident that there were enough people that watched that it'll, the third movie should be made.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's done his ode to the Seven Samurai. Now,
Yeah.
Yeah. What's next?
Yeah, I figured that. I got that glimpse too.
Yeah. No, I watched Argylle.
What?
Argylle. It was that movie. It starred Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell and
Was it good?
yeah. It was directed by the same guy who does The Kingsman.
Okay.
Matthew Vaughn.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Now I will say this. The third act, there are a couple of fight sequences that reach a level of ridiculousness that even I was like, Chad, please.
Okay.
But I expect a certain level of over the top from Matthew Vaughn at this point.
Yeah.
Like if you look back at like what he's done over he directed Layer Cake, he directed X-Men First Class, and then he starts kind of like Kingsman,
Yeah.
the second one, the Kingsman, he's kind of like if he's left to his own devices, I think he gets a little he gets a little too stylistic and he gets a little too wacky. But I kind of like that in his movies.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like the same thing with Zack Snyder. Like when Zack Snyder is left to his own devices, you get Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2. You get City of the Dead.
Yeah.
Or whatever that was called, the zombie movie he made on Netflix. You get Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
Movies that are, when you watch them, you kind of go, okay, that was yeah, but you still enjoy it. And I feel the same way about Matthew Vaughn movies. Like his movies are a little kooky. They reach a level where you go, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the story was good enough you kind of go along with it.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
So if you haven't seen it, if you enjoy Kingsman and you enjoy the Kingsman and like you enjoyed that type of aesthetic, then you'll enjoy this. Like, I mean, Sam Rockwell's great. Sam Rockwell's always great.
Yeah.
And Bryce Dallas Howard is always really good.
Yeah.
And then you throw in you got Henry Cavill in there, you've got John Cena in there at certain points. You get our old friend of the show, Samuel L. Jackson, showing up. Like, it was entertaining. It's
Yeah.
just like I said, like some like one there are a couple of, like I said, like the couple of fight scenes in the third act where I'm just like, whoo, I'm not quite sure what they were smoking when they decided to do this, but okay,
Right.
you know. But overall, I still enjoyed it and I would recommend it, but only if you like that style, if you like his style of movie.
Yeah, I do. So
Yeah. So
that's good.
yeah,
Yeah, I haven't really watched anything else. That's been about it.
yeah. I also Star Trek Discovery.
It started.
Yeah, I thought I told you. I guess I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're up to like episode 7.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
How's that going?
really good.
Real. It's the
Really
final season, right?
final season. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying it, and I really liked it, and it's been very, very good.
Hmm.
I'll be sad when the season's over and the show is over because the show's been that good
Yeah.
overall. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I forgot. I didn't even know that was out.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So that's what I've been up to for the most part. Yeah.
We're on fishing day.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
That's good. It was raining.
Yeah.
It was about a brief period, about an hour and a half. It didn't rain, but it really started coming down.
Yeah.
But I caught both mine in the rain.
That makes
Caught
sense.
2 today. And yeah, it's good.
Good.
You're getting out. That's about it.
Good dipping your rod in the water.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. That's the first time you've gone this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually never go opening day, but
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't know if maybe you'd gone.
it's kind of on a whim that I went today. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I went out and fished a little bit. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Mm.
We had a wing stop open in White Oak. I went there today.
Wings.
Yeah. It was all right. It was better than the one in North for sale, so can't remember the name. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
But I mean, I had like 8 boneless wings. Like their French fries are like my biggest complaint, like the boneless wings weren't bad.
Okay.
And I thought I got it with garlic and parmesan dry rub, which I enjoyed.
Mm.
Um, because sometimes you go to places, especially if like it's like, you know, we're just gonna make some garlic butter and toss it, and like they get like nasty,
Right.
And a lot of places do that, and that's like, I don't like that. So like it's a dry rub, I enjoyed it. Um, but their French fries are fresh cut potatoes,
Mm.
like, and it was like that thing of like they need to be cooked like one more minute.
Yeah.
Like they were done,
Yeah.
but like I like them a little bit crisper.
Did you get them to go?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I mean, I bet.
Fresh cuts are only good like when you're eating them where you stand.
Okay.
Once I feel like
Yeah.
once you put the tin foil around it or once you wrap them,
Yeah.
they just all that heat, all that.
Well, they weren't wrapped.
Okay.
I mean, they were in the bag. Like it was like the wings were in like a clamshell container, and then the fries were put in a basket and they were unwrapped, and that was put in the bag.
Right. Right.
So it wasn't like I know what you mean, and but no, it was just that thing of like they needed like be cooked like one more minute.
Right.
And I think it would have been fine, even getting them to go. 'Cause, I mean, I get them to go, and I mean, I was it was a 5 minute drive home, less than that,
Right. Right.
So, but the wings were tasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I have to change my tune here. But
Okay.
I didn't buy. Uh, the girls bought Raising Cane's chicken fingers.
Raising Cane's, that's the place I was thinking about. Yeah.
Okay. And I first tasted Raising Cane's. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I think I got a chicken sandwich or something.
Yeah.
But they brought these freaking chicken tenders in. Boy, were they good.
Yeah.
Good tenders, good sauces. Yeah, it was good.
See, I wasn't impressed by Cane's.
I like the chicken fingers.
And that's what I got. I got chicken fingers. I thought the chicken fingers were kind of bland. And I didn't think the sauce was all that, like, wow. Because that's what people talk about. When we get the chicken's going to be bland, but the sauce is what's worth it. And I thought the sauce was just meh.
Okay.
Like I thought the French fries were good. But I mean, like I wasn't like blown away by their sauce and the fingers.
Okay. I did. I enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I got a fresh batch, but I mean,
Yeah.
I thought, or maybe I was just really hungry, but
Yeah.
it hit the spot. So.
I mean, it wasn't bad,
Right.
but like, it was just that thing of like, it wasn't worth, like, I don't know if I was like overhyped for it,
Yeah.
because I don't think I was. I think I kind of went in there with like a level-headed expectation. And I just wasn't overwhelmed by it. I just thought they were just like, oh, it was okay. I mean, if somebody said, hey, you want to go to Cane's, I wouldn't complain, but at the same time, I'm not going to go out of my way to go there.
Right.
It's kind of the same with Wingstop. Like, I don't know if like they do have chicken sandwiches. I'd like to try a chicken sandwich from there. But like, I think if I really like, I would probably go to Big Shot Bob's for wings before I would go there. You don't care for Bob's?
Nah, remember that one time I got Bob's down at McKeesport and they cut all the chicken wings wrong and then
Yeah.
into my fucking drums were all boned. I'm like, they were cut wrong.
Yeah. I get it from the one in White Oak.
Like boned.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely inedible.
I get it from the one in White Oak, and I don't have a problem.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think where else I went. I went to Capital Girl the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that place.
I mean, it sounds familiar, but
It's down in Oakland.
Yeah.
Had a really good burger.
Well.
Yeah, it was a burger, and it doesn't sound odd, but I didn't think it was going to be what I got.
Uh-huh.
But it came out like in almost like a little, not a crock, but like a mini crock style sizzler pan, sizzler bowl. Like
Yeah.
you get a skillet in.
Yeah.
It's like a mini one. Not mini, but it's about that big.
Yeah.
And there was French onion soup with the good bread.
Uh-huh.
And on top was the burger with the cheese and the.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was really good. I was really impressed by that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really good. Food was really good there. And yeah, it's really cool.
Cool.
Maybe that's about it as far as eating. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Anyway, so what's on your mind, son? What do you got?
Well, I mean, I guess we should start with the Steeler news that they decided to decline Najee Harris's 5th-year option.
What's that?
They declined Najee Harris's 5th-year option.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean that means at the end, at the end of this season he'll be a free agent unless they can re-sign him.
Yeah.
I mean now they can franchise tag him.
Hmm.
But I feel like and I don't know. I'd have to look and see. But I feel like the franchise tag would probably be higher than what the $6 million he would have gotten with the 5th-year option would have been.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's.
Oh, that stank.
Sorry.
Did you have potato salad?
No, that's the garlic Parmesan wing.
Oh,
Sorry.
God.
I don't know.
Fucking vapors. Wow.
I don't know what their plan is. Like, because it's that thing of like I hear people say, well, it makes sense because you can pick up a running back like they grow on trees. I'm like, yeah, like decent ones do, but like he's better than decent. You know, he's really good.
Yeah.
And like if you're gonna sit there and say, Jalen Warren, he's the better of the two backs. I think you're right. Like I think he's got more talent, but I don't think he's a guy who can carry the ball 25 times a game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think he's your change of pace guy.
Right.
Like he's the guy you send out there. He gets 10 to 15 carries, and Najee gets 20 to 25.
Right. Right.
You know, and you're like, well, what's the difference between 5 or 10 carries? Well, it's a lot of wear and tear on the body.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why most running backs don't play past 30.
Right.
You know,
No, I know.
but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, as much as I like Jalen Warren, and I'm not taking anything away from him at all, he's just not a bell cow. He's not the guy.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, for a full season, especially. Like, and that's what's great about having a change of pace back. And that's something the Steelers have missed over the years. Like, they've had, a good running back. Like, they had James Conner, but they had, nobody else behind him.
Right.
And so you were relying on Conner to be on the field every play. And they did the same thing with Le'Veon Bell. Like, I understand why Le'Veon Bell decided to hold out that year.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, it cost him his career, but I understand because he was on the field for 95% of the snaps.
Yeah.
Because they had nobody they could rely on behind him.
Right.
James Conner has the same problem. He goes to Arizona. They have a second back. He's still the main guy, but he's got somebody relieving him from time to time.
Yeah.
And he's excelling in Arizona in that system because of it.
Right.
Like, so it's that thing of like Najee has benefited from Jalen and Jalen has benefited from Najee. And I feel like Najee's one of those backs that you kind of have to find a way to keep around because he's worth it.
Right.
You don't replace him as easily as you think you can, in my opinion. Like there are top level backs, and then there's a big gap like that next level of back.
Right.
When you're talking at top level of back, you're talking, Christian McCaffrey, you're talking Derrick Henry, and you're talking Najee.
Right.
And then there's a massive drop off to that next level.
Yeah, right.
And if you're going to replace Najee with somebody in that drop off, you're not going to get the production you think you are.
Right.
No matter how good that offensive line is.
Agreed.
Yeah, so.
I'm sure they'll pick up somebody.
Or they'll sign him. Like that's my hope is that they sign him.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like, why did we draft him?
Right.
And again, like my concern is like they're looking at it like, well, we could probably sign Jalen Warren for less, and we'll just make him the guy.
He's not the guy.
No, he's not. Not in my opinion. I hope if they go that route, I hope he proves me wrong. But
Right.
So.
Is you excited about the draft and everything like that?
Coming out of it, yeah.
Out of it,
yeah.
You think that center's gonna be pretty good?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think they set themselves up for success. Is the real key here.
Yeah.
Like I do think like it's one of those deals where like only in Pittsburgh can you be happy with like drafting like 3 offensive linemen.
Right.
And a linebacker. Like only people in Pittsburgh would get excited about that, but we do. And I feel like the big need, the big area of need that they have to fill is at wide receiver.
Right.
I still feel they need to kind of get somebody across from Pickens. Um, you know, the rumor was it was going to be Tyler Boyd, but I don't know if he's coming home now.
Right.
So I mean, it's that thing of like, well, let's hope they figure that out. you know,
Mm-hmm.
so that's like the only thing is kind of to
What, the
me,
slot receiver position?
yeah, like a second receiver.
Mm.
Like as much as I like Wilson, the receiver out of Michigan, like I don't think he's ready to be that second guy yet. I think he eventually will be,
Mm.
but I don't think like coming out as a rookie, he's ready for that.
Right.
You want to have somebody over there that you feel is a threat.
Right.
You know. Now, again, the other thing the Steelers have shown a fortitude for is drafting wide receivers.
They do draft some wide receivers.
Right.
And good ones.
Yeah, I mean,
Here, I mean, I'd say 70% of them at home are really good.
yeah.
I mean, well, we don't know what kind of scheme we're going to have next year. So.
But I mean, it is that situation though still of like they have been very proficient at going out and finding Deontay Johnson, finding Antonio
We can
Brown.
go through the list.
Yeah, I mean,
Plexico Burris.
yeah,
Yeah, but here he was good.
right. Even with the Giants, he was phenomenal.
Hines Ward. What's his name? Caught the touchdown pass to the end zone.
Santonio Holmes.
Santonio Holmes.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on with wide receivers.
Right, but I feel like particularly
What's his name? Slot receiver in the middle. Randall Well.
yeah. But I do feel like in particular over the past 14 years during the Mike Tomlin era.
Yeah.
They've done a very good job of finding that late round, that middle round guy or two who develop into, high quality wide receivers.
Right.
Starting with, I mean, you had not Holmes, Brown and Sanders. The new money. And then you let Sanders go to keep Antonio Brown, Emmanuel Sanders, and then and he went on to have like a massive career, and it just kind of continued along down the line over these past 15 years, 14 years, where they've done a very good job of just finding those middle round guys that you turn into gems.
Yeah.
But the key to some of that has been those middle round guys, like that first year. They're fighting, with Sanders and Brown, it was two dogs, one bone.
Yeah.
Because it was like whoever played, the other sat. Like he didn't even dress.
Yeah.
So like that was like kind of like the mentality Mike Tomlin had with those guys, and competition made them both better. And they've kind of, with Johnston, it was, he kind of sat behind some guys, and I mean, even like Chase Claypool had a phenomenal rookie year, and then like it all went to his head.
Yeah, yeah.
And he became, garbage.
I thought Chase Claypool was gonna be the next.
Yeah.
Fucking diamond.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, like they do a good job of finding that guy. Now, I mean, the problem becomes, can that guy keep his head on straight? And I'm hoping the same thing with Pickens.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
I think Pickens needs a slice of humble pie.
I mean,
I do.
I do too.
Not to take it away from his confidence. I'm just saying that there will be another guy better than you.
But there's also like, I understand frustration. And like some of that frustration came from the fact that he was open and Kenny Pickett didn't throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Like, and so some of what you were seeing, some of what you were hearing from him was just basic frustration of, I'm doing my job, now you have to do yours. And unfortunately, Kenny Pickett wasn't.
Right.
Um, and when he did, I mean, when we saw, like, when he connected, like, I mean, Mason Rudolph's first pass was to George Pickens, and Pickens went like 80 yards for a touchdown.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you find him, he, like, some of his arrogance, if you want to use it that way, is justified because he is that damn good.
Yeah.
It's just, get me the damn ball.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we will get him the damn ball.
Yeah. Like, I feel comfortable with Russell Wilson throwing him the damn ball.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he'll get it there.
Yeah.
I don't have any. It's weird. Usually, past couple of years, I've been so nervous on who's throwing the ball and is it going to get there? Or are we going to throw it? You know what I mean? I have confidence that if Russell Wilson gets into the right system, he'll get him the ball.
Well, I mean, that system is going to be play action pass.
Yeah.
And let it rip.
Yeah.
And that's what Russell Wilson does best.
Yeah.
And
I think he'll get the ball.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot more touchdowns this year.
Oh yeah.
Than there was last year or the year before.
I mean, my hope is just that, and this is where Russell Wilson has struggled, getting the ball to the tight end. Get the ball to Freiermuth. Get the ball to Washington.
Right.
Get the ball to Hayward. Like, we've got 3 solid tight ends that can, once they've got the ball in their hand, can do some damage. Right. And I feel like last year, like, for whatever reason, that offense just completely forgot about the tight end position. And I'm hoping, like, Russell Wilson's notoriously not a tight end thrower, but I'm hoping the system pushes him to throw to the tight end.
Yeah.
Because that will take coverage away from, like, if your tight end starts making plays and you can't have the safety out bracketing Pickens, now you've got to move him back in towards the middle because the tight ends are killing you.
Right.
And now you've got Pickens one-on-one.
Yeah, well, that's what you want.
Right. So that's what I'm hoping they realize that. I'm hoping Russell Wilson realizes that and utilizes his tight end.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's 3 good guys there that can catch.
Yeah, and can do some damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what we need middle of the field shit.
Yeah.
Gain 6-7 yards. You know what I mean? Or more, depending on the athleticism of these guys, which is good.
Right.
But gain those 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards.
Right.
First down. And just fucking Brady him all the way down the field.
Yeah.
Until that opens up until they start covering those guys, and that opens up Pickens one-on-one, and then now you have Pickens one-on-one.
Right.
That'll just kill you.
Right.
So, I mean, hopefully these receivers will come back to Russell Wilson too. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope they recognize, just run their routes and don't just give up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I think
because he's going to be scrambling a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. But I do think, like, I think that especially for, like, Pickens, it's got to be Russ will get me the ball. I've just got to get myself even remotely open.
Right.
And he can get me the ball.
I know.
And Russ has to, like, realize, and I mean, like, he had a little bit of this in, like, DK Metcalf, but, like, you've got to realize, like, just put it up there. George will go get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's the trust they have to build between now and game 1.
Right.
So. All right, so here's some interesting stuff in the news this week. I'm going to start with this, and apparently, our old friend, the final boss,
Okay.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, um, maybe a bit of a dick.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I mean, he always seems like, and again, like it's always that thing of like you only see the public persona, you see what they want you to
Right.
see, But more, like to me, like more than any other star, like Dwayne Johnson's always seemed like a pretty good guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like he got it. Like, this is where I came from. These are the people who have made me what I am. You know, always feel like he's giving back. Always feel like he's doing like, I've heard him say like, I don't have a driver. I drive myself. I drive a pickup truck. You know, because I want to stay rooted in reality.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen him going through drive-throughs and taking selfies with the people at the drive-through. And
Who's
stuff.
this? The Rock.
The Rock, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, apparently he's making this movie called Red One, or he did make this movie called Red One.
Okay.
Described as Hobbs and Shaw meets Guardians of the Galaxy meets Miracle on 34th Street. This is The Rock's Christmas movie.
Okay.
It's got him, Chris Evans, and J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus. That's a pretty good cast.
Right.
The plot is apparently Saint Nick is kidnapped from the North Pole, and two highly skilled professionals must save the holiday season. Much of the early reporting on the film touted as the project as a business venture more than a cinematic experience. Amazon's announcement includes this humdinger of a line. This unique concept represents a property that could encompass not only a tentpole film, but could reach beyond entertainment across multiple industries and businesses. But apparently, old Dwayne, he seems to have, I don't know, maybe it's gotten to his head, but he's apparently showing up late, several hours late, as much as 8 hours late, forcing the director to shoot around the missing actor for parts of the film. MGM Amazon denies this by saying Dwayne Johnson and $7 have been incredible partners on Red One, a film that audiences of all ages are going to love this holiday season. Our testing has been very strong. The reaction from CinemaCon speaks for itself. We couldn't have made it without Dwayne's constant work and support. Any reporting that implies he got to this point with him showing up 7-8 hours late to set is both ridiculous and false. But apparently this isn't like the only movie he's done this on. Apparently, he's done it with wrestling. He did it with the HBO show Ballers that he had. Rampage, and even with the Fast and the Furious, which it explained why him and Vin had their beef. But also, apparently, when they did Red Notice for Netflix, Ryan Reynolds got pissed and got in his face about it. Now, Ryan Reynolds, again, I get it. We only see the public persona. We only see what they want us to see. But again, seems like one of those guys that gets it. And he's like calling out Dwayne Johnson for his unprofessionalism of showing up late.
That's pretty cool, though. Actually.
Yeah. But apparently also during Red One, there were a few instances where old Dwayne needed to pee and didn't go to the public bathrooms. He pees in a Voss water bottle, and his team has to dispose of it. Yeah. Yeah. That.
Good thing it was Voss.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's one of those things, like, I've been to football games. Now, you remember my the tickets I had for pit season, my pit season tickets that I had were directly behind the visitors bench, like 50-yard line. I was like 2 rows away from the field,
Yeah.
like amazing seats. And one of the things you would see from time to time would be a group of players form a circle around somebody because they had to take a piss. And you'd see them like, grab a Gatorade bottle and pee in the bottle, and then they throw a towel over it and throw like they tried to be as discreet as possible, but you knew what was going on.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like it was like one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, he peed, and I'm not saying that that's a justifiable behavior on a movie set, because I'm not.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that may be like his mentality of like, hey, I'm just gonna pee right here. I got a water bottle. I'll pee in this here. Somebody throw this away for me. Which
Right, right.
that part of it's nasty. Like, handle that shit yourself. You know.
Right.
But still, again, I'm not excusing it. I'm just explaining where the behavior may come from.
Right, right.
You know. But it's shocking to hear because it's not something you hear about him. Like you always hear like what a great guy he is and the hard work he puts in, and he's the biggest self promoter I've ever seen. It always feels like he's in a hustle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to hear that, yeah, he's perpetually late all the time. And when he's gotta take a leak, he just does it right there on set in a bottle and has an assistant throw it away for him.
Yeah. He's like, "Here, scrub."
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta earn your stripes. Here's my piss.
Yeah. Here's my piss.
Yeah.
Dispose of it, please.
Yeah. Like, nobody wants to handle that warm bottle.
It's like telling you. I don't know, man. It's like telling like someone to wipe the swamp ass out of your crack.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Well, I mean, like
It's like, what the fuck?
Like, and I get, like, I don't have an ego nearly as big as Dwayne Johnson's or any Hollywood star. But it is that thing though of like I don't like getting a massage. Like I got a massage one time. It's like one of those free massages, like you went to the mall and the guy was like, "I'll give you a 5-minute massage." Like they had this guy they had like a chair, like you sat in a chair, and and it felt great, but I also was kind of like weirded out by the fact that somebody was touching me like that.
Okay.
And especially as a heavier guy, like I'm really weirded out by that.
Yeah.
And
I've heard people that get those massages and deep tissue massages and stuff like
yeah,
that. They fucking wrecks them.
yeah,
Like wrecks them.
yeah,
Like their body's like fucking jello.
yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Oh yeah,
that deep into the
right.
massage. I'm curious about it. No, I mean I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm not talking about the Kyoto Health Spa.
No, no.
But,
not that type of Oriental massage.
wow, Oriental. That's bad. I'm curious about it. I'm also curious about acupuncture as well. But
you're also somebody who stands on their feet
yes,
8 to 10 hours.
and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like something like that would like do wonders for you. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm curious about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The regenerative aspects of it.
Yeah, and I don't care if it's a girl or a guy. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
As long as you can give the massage, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a happy ending or
right.
anything. You know what I mean? Like, I just want a fucking tissue massage.
Right.
To where it'll make me feel better from standing like that. You
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm curious about it. I'm curious about the acupuncture. But I want to go to someone good. I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want someone to give me the fucking death blossom in my neck by accident and I start fucking bleeding out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like I don't want that to happen. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Like one needle and all of a sudden you can't fill anything. Like, oops, that's not supposed to go there. But that's a funny thing. Have you ever heard anybody say like, "Hey, go to my doc. You need to go to my doctor. They're the worst." Like, it's always like, "Yeah, my guy's the best. My guy's the best."
Right.
I've never heard somebody like, "Oh, I went to that doctor. They were fucking awful." Like you never hear that. Not go to that like it's everybody's always like, "Yo, they're the best. Awesome."
You talking about like chiropractors and masseuses and stuff like that?
Any of that, yeah.
Uh-uh. Well, I look at that all that stuff is like like ulterior forms of medicine,
Yeah.
like holistic medicine.
Right.
I think it has its place, but I
Right.
think that you really have to thin out the doctors, and you have to
Right.
because you really don't want someone. I mean, really,
Yeah.
that you don't know or you people haven't been to or first year of school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you really don't want someone manipulating your spine like that.
Right.
I mean, it scares the absolute shit out of me.
Right.
I mean, because I know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the same with masseuse. Like, so how long have you been at this? Oh, this is my first week. Oh, whoa. You know.
I'll take the full frontal, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but the yeah, no, I get that, but I think the chiropractor is much worse.
Yeah.
There's a lot more damage that can be done there.
Right. No, I agree. Like somebody messing with your spine like that.
Yeah, and someone that doesn't do any kind. Here's my problem too, and I think most chiropractors do, but you need a full spine X-ray before you even.
Yeah.
That should be the first thing that a chiropractor does.
Right.
To look at the different things.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just going in there and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking twist your neck like fucking The Exorcist and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
But if you have a herniated disc there, or you have
Right.
spondylolisthesis, or you got something going on in the neck, and they don't know about it,
Right.
they're gonna fuck you up even worse.
Yeah.
And I think that's my fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just mine.
I went one time. I was at I want to say it was a rib fest, and it was like this chiropractor like lured me into their tent.
Ooh.
Yeah, but they took like a thing of my spine. I don't even know what they did, but they were able to like run a thing up and down my spine. And were able to like see what it was.
Yeah.
And like mine was like a straight line.
Okay.
And I think it's supposed to have like a little bit of a curve to it. Like whatever it was, I can't remember which it was, but whatever it was, like he was like, "There's a real problem here."
Really?
Yeah, like he's like, "You need to see somebody like almost immediately." I'm like, "Do you ever have this or something?" Like, no, I don't have any of those problems.
Mm.
Like he recommended me to it was this chiropractor in West Mifflin. I didn't even go. I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like the alarm in his voice when he like looked at my spine, I was like, yeah, it feels fine.
Right.
I don't have any problems. I got a girl that walks on my back in the back of the restaurant for me.
Right.
You know? All right, so the other big story of the day,
Uh-huh.
that at least I thought was a big story. Um, a few months ago, we reported, or it was reported, not that we reported, not that I have inside information, but
Okay.
there was an article I found interesting that Paramount was apparently up for sale, and Warner Brothers Discovery was looking to buy them,
Okay.
which didn't make much sense to me. Discovery had just bought Warner Brothers. They just merged, Discovery Plus and HBO Max into one app. Like acquiring another major studio
Right. Okay.
with another streaming service made very little sense to me.
Okay.
Well, and apparently Warner Brothers Discovery figured it out and they backed out. But apparently Sony is coming in hard with a $26 billion cash offer. Yeah. Now, this makes a ton more sense because Sony does not have a streaming service.
Right.
They have Stars, but they don't have a true streaming service. So, as far as the acquisition of Paramount, I mean, you get their library, you get their IP, but I think what's also important though is you get that streaming service, and now you have a place to facilitate your movies.
Right. Right.
And like I don't the thing is I don't know is like how much is Paramount of how much of Paramount is being sold, because like Paramount, that's also CBS,
Right.
that's also Showtime. Like, will Paramount still be the home for like CBS's streaming, like their TV shows?
Right.
The same thing with Showtime. Because like one of the advantages you have is with that you get NFL football, you get like the NCAA basketball tournament, you get CBS Sports essentially with Paramount Plus. So like that is to me that's a massive key to that streaming service because everybody's looking to get into live events.
Right.
Netflix signs a deal with the WWE. Tonight, as we're recording, there's a Cat Williams special that's going live. Tomorrow, live, the roast of Tom Brady. Like, Netflix is fighting very hard to get into live events.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazon has a deal with the NFL, and they've apparently reached an agreement with the NBA. So they're working very hard to get into live events.
Okay.
Peacock, last year, not only do they have the WWE Network where they show the WWE's premium live events and everything else that comes with that, but they also have the NFL. Last year they had the Peacock exclusive playoff game.
Right.
The Chiefs and the Dolphins, that did a big number for them. It got them, I think, 30 million people subscribed.
Right.
And they retained 80% of those subscribers.
Okay.
That's huge.
Right.
And so that's a big deal. So like, it's the same thing with Discovery. Discovery has TNT, so they have NBA basketball and they have NHL hockey. And they have a portion of the NCAA basketball tournament as well. So like these are things that like key components to what these streaming services are. Even Apple has Major League Baseball.
Right.
So like these are key components to what these streaming services are trying to get into, because more than anything, live sports is still the biggest pusher of a rating.
Right.
Like it honestly is. It's something that you can't replicate. Like you can't replicate that at all. Like you can't go like put like, okay, well here's that NFL game from yesterday. Like even like the NFL Network does that. Like they'll replay games all off season.
Right.
I don't watch that shit.
Right. Right.
Maybe like sometimes if it's like a replay of a game that has like, and they've done this where it's like, one of the NFL's greatest games, and they've got like the former players and coaches talking about it throughout. Like I'll watch something like that because that's interesting. But if you're just showing me a replay of a game, Like I'm normally not going to tune in for that.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not that desperate for football, but it so like it is something that like it is a major aspect of that. And so if Sony is going to buy Paramount and get and obtain Paramount Plus, how much are they getting? Because if they're going to lose the live sports aspect of it,
Right,
I feel it devalues the service.
right. Yeah, I agreed.
You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
honestly does.
I,
Also, the thing I did here,
oh,
this is something for you.
yeah.
You can subscribe to Sportsnet Pittsburgh as a streaming service now.
Get the fuck out.
$17.99. I can't remember. Don't quote me. But that you can watch Penguin games now. You can get it as a streaming service.
Oh, hallelujah, and Jesus be.
Yeah. So, but like that right there, there's a prime example. That absolutely entices you because you want to watch hockey games.
Oh, I know. That's the one thing that sucks about streaming. I mean, what
Yeah.
I'm doing now.
Right. Cutting the cord prevents you from getting like that stuff. But yeah, I mean, so apparently, you can subscribe to Sportsnet Pittsburgh and you'll be able to watch regular season hockey now.
That's the best move they could ever made.
Yeah.
Because you can't get the NHL network because it blacks out your games.
Right.
It does.
Yeah, like
And like even if you wanted to watch it on something else, it still blacks out the games.
yeah.
It's completely unfair.
Yeah, like those like the NHL center ice package is for out of market games because you're supposed to be able to watch your in market game. Well, if you've cut the cord, you have no way of seeing that. It makes no sense. But yeah, so again, like right there, like the the aspect of having access to live Penguin games is enticing if you're willing to pony up
Yeah.
$10 to $20
Right.
a month because that's how much it means to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I mean that's so like I'm intrigued to see like if this deal goes down, what is Sony getting?
Yeah, in return.
Because if they're just buying the studio and the IP,
Yeah.
like are they working out a deal with the CBS aspect of it to keep that?
Yeah.
Like I can see where you wouldn't be interested in Showtime, but like CBS to me would be important because of the live sports aspect of it. And if you're losing that, you're losing a lot to me.
Right.
Because now, like as somebody who has cut the quarter, well, I guess like you use YouTube TV, which gives you like your local CBS affiliate. It gives you KDK.
Yeah, yeah.
Gives you Fox. You can see.
I can see football.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like I've watched it using the Paramount Plus network, the streaming service.
Right, right.
So
Okay.
yeah. So I think that's interesting. I think it's I think it would be a big plus obviously for Sony to be able to have that streaming service with because that is the thing that sucks is like unless you subscribe to Stars, like you don't get to see those movies very often on like I know they've released some stuff like with Netflix. They've signed a deal with Netflix to get some of their stuff now and again.
Right.
And I know they have a deal with Disney Plus for the Marvel stuff, like with the Spider-Man movies. But it has to be like 5 years after the release date before it becomes available on Disney Plus. So I think like No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home is not available on Disney Plus yet, but I think the other two Marvel Sony collaborations are.
Right.
And then all the Garfield and Maguire movies are.
Yeah. Did you see where they were releasing Amazing?
I saw that they were doing something where they were releasing them each in the theater again for like a weekend.
Yeah.
So I know somebody said they went and they saw Spider-Man 2 in a theater.
Like,
The Doc Ock one. Yeah. Like, I was like, I wish I had seen that. I would have gone.
yeah. I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna give him his third movie.
I don't think so. Like, I just can't see. Like, the only way that makes sense is if you're trying to build, like, again,
You don't see Sony doing that?
the only way it makes sense is if you're trying to build your Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I know.
But, I mean, it's flopping so bad.
What?
The Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I mean, Madam Web did nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're the only person I know that's excited for Kraven the Hunter. Because it didn't look good to me.
Right.
And, you know, Morbius. Like, the only thing that's done anything that's even remotely halfway decent has been the 2 Venom movies. You know?
Right.
So it like, yeah, I mean, you could bring in Andrew Garfield and you could build your Spider-Verse around him, I guess. But at this point, like, I don't know if it's worth it.
Are you saying that because you don't like Garfield as fucking Spider-Man?
No, I'm not. I mean, not at all. It's just.
Because I thought he was amazing in the last.
So did I.
Spider-Man.
I honestly thought that was that redeemed his version of Spider-Man. In my eyes, like, I honestly, I did. Like, I have no qualm with how Andrew Garfield was in that movie.
It was almost cry-worthy.
It was. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was. In all honesty, like, I mean, it was.
I really loved how each Spider-Man had their own identity.
Yeah.
And that was very good, the writing and directing and
Right.
stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it was one of the best parts of that movie.
Yeah.
They're all in the lab. They're each doing their own thing.
Right.
But you see that even then, you see their different personalities coming through.
Right. And I feel like half of that was because of Marvel.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, honestly, like, I mean, I know I've shit on Sony, but they've deserved it. You know what I mean? Like, especially with, like, this pseudo Spider-Verse they're trying to build.
Right.
It, you know, it hasn't been good for the most part. And, like, I feel like, you know, those the Amazing Spider-Man movies, like, I'm not as big a fan of as you.
Right.
And no, I didn't like Garfield in those 2 movies that much. But, like, I thought, like, the character was much better written in No Way Home. And I feel that's because Kevin Feige's involved. I feel like that's because Marvel's involved. And it's not a Sony production. It's a Marvel production. And they knew how to fix the character.
Yeah.
You know? And if you could get that influence then, which Sony doesn't want with that Spider-Verse, it's theirs. They don't want Marvel getting their hands in it. Then I'm afraid that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man takes a step back instead of another step forward.
Right, right.
But that's me. You like the way he was written in those 2 movies.
I do.
But, like, my hope would be, like, he would build upon the way he was presented in No Way Home.
Okay, I get that.
You know what I mean? So the funny thing is like, I think sometime this month, Madam Web is going to be on Netflix.
Okay.
I think. And I'll be honest, I can't wait to watch it just to see how bad it is.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it. I have to judge it when I watch it.
Right. But, like, the trailers even look bad to me. Like, you were like, it wasn't that bad. I was kind of intrigued. But, like, to me, they looked fucking awful.
Right. Like I said, I'll have to watch it.
Right. And it's tough to judge a movie by a trailer, but at the same time, like, a movie trailer's job is to get me excited about the movie. And those didn't.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, They did the exact opposite. They turned me off to the movie.
Okay.
And like the only movie that's ever done that, it was actually a really good movie, was Star Trek Beyond.
Okay.
Like, I don't know who cut those trailers, but like, and I hate to say this, I hope they are unemployed. I hope they have found another job calling in life, because those trailers were cut awful. Like, I had very low expectations for that movie based off the trailers, and then when I saw it, I was like, this is much, much, much better than my expectations.
Right.
I was shocked at how good that movie was.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but the trailers, I was just like, oh, this is gonna be fucking awful. So hopefully Madam Web is the same thing, and whoever cut those trailers should be, looking for another line of work. But something tells me I'm not off on that one.
I'm intrigued by it. Well, let's have to see it.
Yeah, I agree.
If it entertains me, I'm good.
Yeah, I like to entertain you.
You know what did entertain me?
What?
No, as far as a series, and I'm not going to go into it. We've been down the hole and everything like that. But I think that I was just thinking of like series and stuff like that, and movies and whatever. But Hawkeye was a really good series.
It was. It was very good.
Yeah, I mean, like
I
like the fact that it was short and sweet, and it was like, this is it.
Like, I had high expectations for it, and it exceeded those expectations.
Yeah, and it was like a story.
Yeah.
And like, I got into it. And
yeah.
I loved it, and it was short. It didn't go on for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I need more of that.
I agree.
I think, to be quite honest, I think it was the best out of those series that they put out. For me. It was grittier to me. There was no, like, above selling points that they were trying to throw at you.
Right.
Just a guy in New York trying to get his fucking suit and sword back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I like
this girl on the way, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he loves her.
Yeah.
I mean, he does.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a really, I thought it was really good. And he throwing king.
Oh yeah. But like that, and like, I mean, I like Loki because Loki was crazy. Like, that was like really well done.
It was, but what I'm saying is, it didn't have the world on its shoulders.
Yeah, no.
And I think that's the Spider-Man aspect coming out of me.
Right.
That I like that ground.
Yeah, very grounded.
Yes.
Very. Yeah, it wasn't.
You know what I mean? There wasn't there wasn't the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Right.
In that movie.
Right.
It just kept going. And like it flowed nicely.
Yeah.
I think that was the best one that they made.
I think coming in a close second is Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed
I probably enjoyed Hawkeye more too, but I really liked that show as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, all right.
All right, so based upon last week, I feel compelled to read some of Superfan Thad's email.
Okay.
As a retort. All right, so Thad writes in, Sean, on the podcast, you said Kenny would ask for a coaster that was not done before, and they got it. That's the definition of a prototype. Something that has not been done before. You just acknowledged your own statement there. Your argument's more with Tim than it is with me on that one. Either way, they're both at fault. Sean, you were wrong again. There are safety measures in place for the Jackrabbit. All of their coasters have been upgraded over the years. Okay, I'll take your word for it. That control board still looks like it's from 1922, but, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know. I think it's still driven by steam, you know.
Exactly.
That's
funny.
Kennywood has a ton of shade throughout the park. Cedar Point has none.
We discussed that.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Cedar Point has none, but like all the shade in Kennywood is in like one real area, and everywhere else you go in that park, it is a blazing mess.
Yeah, old Kennyman's night.
Yeah.
Plant a tree, man. Save a life.
Yeah. You are correct. I would never ride a carnival ride put together by some hippie. Well, hippies aren't the ones putting those carnival rides together. Meth heads are.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I would trust a hippie more than I would a meth head.
All right.
Sean, you are on the same page. We are on the same page. My defense of Kennywood is like your defense of Kenny Pickett. I shake my head and laugh. Well, no, here's the difference. Here's the difference.
All right, let me hear it.
I freely acknowledge that Kenny Pickett failed as the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do I think if given an opportunity in the Arthur Smith system, he may have evolved and gotten better? Yes.
Okay.
He was not given that opportunity.
Right.
If you really think about it, Matt Canada was his offensive coordinator for all but 6 quarters.
Right.
So no, I would have liked to have seen Kenny Pickett be given a chance, but I also freely admit he failed.
Right.
Like, I get it. I understand why everything has happened. My biggest complaint, though, is the acquisition of Justin Fields.
Right.
That's the one I'm puzzled by and hope he's not our quarterback of the future.
Mm.
Beyond that, I get why he was traded. I understand the viewpoints. I agree with many of them. I do think he could have developed if given an opportunity, but he wasn't, and that's where we're at. Everything makes sense to me except for that one thing.
Right.
The acquisition of Justin Fields.
Okay.
So, no, I'm not shilling for Kenny Pickett. I'm disappointed that Kenny Pickett didn't work out.
Okay.
He asked me to come on his buddy pass. No, I'm not doing that. So, there you go. Those were the thoughts of Superfan Thad after we called him a corporate shill for basically having his review of Kennywood written by an executive there.
Right.
I hope he was paid well for his services.
I'm sure he was.
Is there anything you'd like to add to the proceedings there, sir?
No, man, I'm good.
Well, remember, there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us.
Hey.
You can send us an email like Thad does each and every week. That email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very, very easy to find. And we are on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search and find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, I want to thank you, dear listener, for taking the time to check us out each and every week.
Hey.
We can't thank you enough for your support. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.